It all kicked off with a whisper, barely discernible, like a secret the house was trying to keep. Nina, fresh from a messy breakup and a soul-crushing job, had snagged the sweet little duplex on Hollow Creek Road. Sweet might be pushing it, but it was cheap. Quiet, supposedly, and miles away from the city's relentless buzz. Perfect for a reboot. The landlord, a guy who looked like he hadn't seen sunlight in a decade, mumbled something about the place having a bit of history. But Nina was too focused on the price tag to pry. History? Whatever. She needed peace and quiet more than a haunted house tour. Famous last words, right? The whispers started on night 3. At first, she thought it was the wind playing tricks. A draft whistling through the old window frames. It was just a faint shh, like someone breathing softly near her ear. But then it started to coalesce. The shh morphed into sounds, fragmented words that danced just beyond her grasp. She strained to hear, tilting her head, trying to catch a phrase, a syllable, anything concrete. But it was always just out of reach, a linguistic tease. And the lights, don't even get her started. Every single night, without fail, at precisely 2:13 a.m, they'd flicker. Not a dramatic power surge flicker, but a subtle, unsettling waver, like the house was taking a deep, shuddering breath. She checked the breakers, the wiring, everything she could think of. Nada. It was like the house itself was playing a prank. A creepy electrical ghost prank. Then came the knocking. 3 deliberate taps. Tap. 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 Not on the door, not on the windows. Inside the walls, like someone was trapped, trying to signal from the other side of the plasterboard. Nina, armed with a healthy dose of skepticism and a rapidly dwindling supply of sanity, went full-on detective. She checked every pipe, convinced it was some weird water hammering type of thing. She inspected every window, looking for loose panes or sneaky hanging branches. She even crawled around the attic, poking at dusty insulation and horrible sticky cobwebs. Nothing. The sound was elusive. A phantom percussionist, and it moved. One night it was in the bedroom, right behind the headboard, making her jump out of bed like she'd been electrocuted. The next, it was in the ceiling above the living room, a muffled thumping that vibrated through the floorboards. Sometimes she swore it was beneath the floor, a subterranean rhythm that made her teeth ache. Driven to the edge of sleep-deprived madness, Nina decided to confront the source. Armed with a flickering candle, because that's, let's be honest, way more dramatic than a flashlight, she crept down to the basement. She'd avoided that area since moving in. A dark, damp space that smelled vaguely of mildew and forgotten dreams. The air down there was colder than she imagined, a clammy chill that seeped into her bones. The air was stale, heavy with the weight of years. The candle flame danced erratically, casting long, distorted shadows that played tricks on her eyes. In the far corner, hidden behind a jumbled stack of old crates and forgotten furniture, she saw it. A wooden door, nailed shut, solid, ancient wood, scarred and withered. As she approached, drawn by some morbid curiosity she couldn't explain, her candle chose that exact moment to sputter and die, plunging her into absolute darkness. "Seriously?" she muttered to the darkness, fumbling for her phone. The flashlight flickered on. A weak beam cutting through the gloom, and that's when her breath caught in her throat. The door. It was open. Just a crack, but enough. Inside was a narrow passage leading downwards into the earth. The air coming from the opening felt colder, somehow wrong. On the walls of the passage she saw them, scratch marks, deep ragged gouges in the stone, like someone had clawed their way down, desperate to escape or desperate to get in. And at the end of the passage, barely illuminated by a phone's anemic light, stood an old mirror, tall, ornate, and undeniably creepy. Etched across the glass, in reverse, as if written by someone inside the mirror, were the words, "You opened it, and now it's your turn." Nina didn't hesitate. She ran. She scrambled back up the stairs, adrenaline pumping through her veins, heart hammering against her ribs. She didn't look back. The basement door slapped with a resounding boom that echoed through the house. And now, if you happen to be driving past Hollow Creek Road late at night, when the moon is hidden and the shadows are long, you might hear it. A faint tapping coming from beneath the old foundations. 3 slow knocks. Tap, tap, tap waiting for you.